Once upon a time, in 2016, I bought my first house, the Babe Cave. Now, most women who don't make a ton of money for their first home will get like a condo or a townhouse with an HOA that covers the exterior and maybe the roof, but not me. I had to be a royal pain in the ass and get a major renovation job. At 110 years old, she needed work from her crawl space to the roof. It was a year of constant work. It was 10 years of my life savings to put her back together. The part of the house that needed the most work was the bathroom upstairs. I don't know what the hell was going on up there, but it was decades worth of homeowner DIY stupidity. Like, Bob Vila would have wept if he had seen that bathroom. There was this weird step up that they had used to cover up other things. The toilet was like elevated into this throne-like area. A huge, cheap plastic insert. All of that got ripped out, and so I had nothing but the plaster and lath to work with. And when I was trying to put her back together and make it period appropriate to do the house some justice, I was hell-bent that I wanted copper in that bathroom. I love copper. It doesn't rust. It has antimicrobial properties. It's just a beautiful warm color when light bounces off of it. It's just stunning. However, I have copper dreams on a basic bitch aluminum foil budget. I mean, I did not have a lot of money to work with. Plus, all my money was going into the systems of the house. So I had to get really creative on how I was going to get copper in that bathroom. I decided that for the ceiling, I used salvaged tin tiles, and then I got this awesome paint. I'll put a link to it below. But it has copper in the paint, and you let it dry and hit it with a patina solution, and it will finish looking like old copper. It was just beautiful. So that worked for the ceiling, but then I just had to have copper in the shower. Well, copper sheets, either you need to steal them or get them at the metal scrapyard, which those are stolen too, so it's 6 half dozen of the other, it's just who stole it. Super expensive, I could not afford it, so I had to come up with a different solution, and the only thing that I could think of that I could afford were pennies. Yes. Pennies. Now, the pennies today really don't have much of any copper in them at all, but they have the look. So I got bags and bags of pennies, and I patinaed some of them and made this elaborate design. That project nearly killed me. I mean, I lost all the feeling in my toes because I was down crawling around putting in all these god blessed pennies and like the ground, and oh my god, you have got to get yourself right with the Lord before you take on a project like that. I have a whole explanation on how I did the penny shower. I'll put a link to that too. Again, talk to Jesus before you start, because it is so much work. But the Babe Cave, I'm trying to transfer some of those ideas into the Babe Bus, and I couldn't figure out where I was going to put copper because there's no shower in here, but I did need a countertop. For $10, I got a couple sheets of pine wood. I took 2 cans of spray paint, so that was like $8. Spray painted them black. I liquid nailed, screwed them down onto my cheapo Lowe's kitchen cabinets. We did that a video ago. Got those in, had the hole for the sink already cut, let that dry, and then got 2 little tubes of liquid nails and put down all the pennies. It was $30 worth of pennies minus like 28 cents, so you do the math on that one. But the mistake I made on this, which I should have known better, was that I bought glue that did not dry clear, so now I have to go back and do a lot of touch-up paint, but that's really, in the scheme of things, not a huge deal. But learn from me, get glue that dries clear. So I got the backsplash in, I got all the pennies in, I took a little bit of acetone, very light, don't go too hard with it, and just polish them up. It glistens, it's beautiful, and at this point what you really need to do is get epoxy, which I have, and cover it as a resin, and then it will be finished, sand it off a little, whatever. However, I had to stop prior to putting on epoxy because epoxy is some really tricky shit. I mean, epoxy is like a woman. Like, you have to have the right temperature and the right mood, and you have to handle it just right. I mean, you can't handle it too aggressive, you can't handle it too soft. I mean, everything has to be perfect. And if you get it perfect, it's beautiful and you have this great finish. And if it's not, it will ruin your life. Like, getting epoxy that hasn't set up is, oh God. Just like a woman, you have to be very particular about how you're doing things. Otherwise, you're screwed. So for that reason, now that we are going to have 5 days of cold and 5 days of rain, every video I talk about that's cold and rainy, and that's because that's really what our winter has been like this year. It sucks. But epoxy needs a certain temperature range to set in. So work has stopped there, but that's okay because that's really finished work, and I've got a lot of other things to do on the van in the meantime. But I have to say, I am so happy about that countertop. It's beautiful. When the light touches it, it's shiny and unique. You could get a cheapo insert countertop at Lowe's for less money and a whole hell of a lot less work and a whole lot less awesome. Let's also talk about that sink. In all the van videos that I've watched, everybody has these teeny tiny little bowl sinks or these 15-inch sinks, and the reasoning behind that is they want more counter space. They want to optimize their counter space. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't drink out of a sippy cup, and I don't have little kid Cheerio bowls. I mean, I have real plates, and I don't know how the hell they make that work. I mean, if you don't have a dishwasher, then you've got to stage your dirty dishes on one side of your teeny tiny fairy sink and then like wipe them off one by one. You can't soak anything and then I guess dry them off immediately and put them away. You know, I guess these couples just have one person doing the dishes and one person drying them, but this is all that's coming in this van. So to me, a sink is really valuable real estate. If I can defrost items in it, if I can store fruits and vegetables when it's not in use, and then I just want something big enough that I can actually clean a full-size God blessed dish. So I found a smaller sink that will fit into a 30-inch base, which is what I have back there, and it's a double sink, and I love it. I am just getting back from the electrician. He told me before I drove the babe bus out to see him for the first time, their first meeting, to go ahead and write on the walls everywhere where I wanted a plug or a switch or, you know, what I was going to be using where, and I did that, and when I opened the doors to the babe bus, I thought his eyeballs were going to roll out of his head. I mean, it's a wreck right now. These Instagram posts that you see where everything is clean and perfect and it looks like they use 2 tools and never have any mess. It's a disaster back there. I mean, there's tools and nails and sawdust everywhere. So I think he was a little overwhelmed, but, you know, a little pep talk. I think he's going to be great. Some of the visions that I had for my electric system are just not realistic, and that's because I wrote down everything I would use in a house, and reality is I'm going to have to make a lot of sacrifices on what my generator and the batteries that I'm going to put in here will operate. So the first thing he laughed at was that I wrote hair dryer on the wall, which I thought was totally reasonable, and he told me I need to get used to air drying my hair. So whatever, it'll be fine. But he took a look at it, and the other thing I learned today from him is that my deadline is really not realistic. It's going to take probably a couple weeks to wire her all up, just because there's so many odds and ends that have to go into that, and that's okay, because as bummed out as I am that I may not be able to get going on January 1st like I intended, the more important thing is to have it done the right way. Also, reference the rain and humidity. I got this big old bag or bucket of damp rid, and I put it in here because we've had so much rain and it's just, everything just kind of feels like wet, whether you're inside or outside. So this was not cheap. It was about 15 bucks, but it has these pellets in it that absorb humidity and moisture in the air, and then when it gets full, you throw it out. But I have to say, I put this in here about, I don't know, 48 hours ago, and you know, I was just worried that like the wood had been getting wet and I'm going in and out of the van and my shoes are wet, and this has dried out the van. I know that a lot of people who live in vans or work in vans, you know, the issue that comes up a lot is mold, because you don't have windows and ventilation like you do in a house. I will probably keep one of these in here permanently, full-time, just to control the moisture in here. I'll put a link to it below. But I really think it's an awesome product and will probably solve any kind of mildew or mold issues just by absorbing it all, and then you toss it out when you're done. And outside of that, that's kind of where we are for this week. So since it's a crap day, I'm probably going to go get a Redbox movie. I have a ton of stuff that I need to order for shelving and other parts of the van that still need to come in. The electrician told me that before I drop it off, for him to really start working, I need to get all this crap out of here so that he can have a clean slate. So I'm going to do all that for him so that he's feeling in a really good mood when he starts drilling through things and pulling wires. Thank you all so much for hanging in there. We are almost at the month-and-a-half mark and getting close, I hope, to some videos that will be a little less rain and work and a whole lot more sun and adventure. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next week.